Hi and Assalamualaikum. Today our group want to present about social constructivism lesson plan. Our group member is Nur Akmal binti Muslim, that's me, Nurul Kamila, Nur Shafura, Ashfin Nabia and Bharati. We present about course, curriculum, instruction and assessment in education. Introduction to Social Constructivism, Vygotsky. Lew Vygotsky 1962 emphasized that learning is a social process shaped through interaction with others. Knowledge is constructed through collaboration, discussion, and shared experience. Key concept: zone of proximal development (ZPD). Students can achieve more with guidance than independently. Role of teacher, facilitator, or guide, supporting students through scaffolding. Learning is enhanced through peer interaction, group work, and dialogue. Okay, next presenter.
Lesson Overview. The subject we choose is English and the topic is My Memorable Day. This lesson is designed for primary school students and will conduct for 30 minutes. This lesson encourages students to talk about their memorable experience with their friends throughout collaborative activities. Students will actively participate in discussion, group work, and presentation instead of listening to the teachers. This student-centered approach helps students to build their confidence and improve communication skills throughout their social interaction. Let's look at the learning objective and teaching materials. By end of this lesson, students will able to express their personal experience clearly and work collaboratively in group to share their idea and present confidently in front of their classmates. To support this lesson, we have used Google Meet for communication and discussion, PowerPoint slide for lesson guidance, and Padlet or Canva whiteboard to brainstorm their ideas, and the picture prompt to stimulate their creativity and encourage discussion. These objective materials are important because collaborative learning helps students to improve their communication skill, teamwork, confidence, and actively participate while they can learn from one another. And I like to pass to my next presenter.
I will explain the instructional strategies used in this lesson. So in this activity, students share their personal memorable experiences with their friends through group discussion. This encourages students to exchange ideas and opinion actively among themselves. Besides that, collaborative learning takes place when students work together to create and present their story. Through teamwork and communication, students are able to learn from one another. Peer interaction also helps students become more confident when they are speaking because they receive support and encouragement from their classmates during the group discussion. Meanwhile, the teacher acts as a facilitator by guiding discussions, giving vocabulary support, and helping weaker students when needed. Overall, these activities promote active participation, communication, collaborative learning, and knowledge sharing, which are important elements in Vygotsky's social constructivism approach. So next slide will be Applying Social Constructivism in Teaching and Learning by Noor Shafura.
Alright. So far, we have seen the instructional strategies used in this lesson. But the important question is, how are these theories actually applied during the teaching and learning process? So, in this part, I will explain how Vygotsky's social constructivism can be seen directly through the classroom activities. So in this slide, actually, the core of our lesson because it shows the connection between theory and practice. In this activity, you can see that students are not just completing tasks individually, instead they learn through interaction, discussion, and collaboration with their peers. For example, when students share their memorable experience in group, they are exchanging the ideas and helping each other develop understanding together. This reflects the main idea of social constructivism, where knowledge is constructed socially. And another important element here is scaffolding. the teacher does not simply give answer, but teacher provide temporary support such as guiding question, vocabulary prompt, or sentence starters to help students express their idea more confidently. At the same time, stronger students are also able to guide weaker students during discussion. So, learning happens not only between teacher and student, but also among peers themselves. What makes this lesson meaningful is that students become active participants in the learning process instead of just listening positively in class. And this is actually the main objective of Vico's key approach, which is learning through social interaction, and collaborative meaning making. So from this slide, we can clearly see that the classroom activities are not only random activities, but they are carefully designed to reflect the principle of social constructivism in a real learning environment. So next.
Now, I will explain the set induction and group activity. So for the set induction, which will take about 5 minutes, okay, the teacher will show a picture related to a memorable experience and ask several guiding questions to the students, such as, okay, students, okay, I'm going to show you a picture. Okay, so what do you see in the picture? And what is happening in the picture? Or maybe the teacher can ask, have you experienced something similar or different within this picture? And also the teacher can ask, why do the students think that this picture or this day is memorable to them? So this activity actually helps to activate students' prior knowledge and encourages them to share their ideas and experiences. Next, for the group activity, which estimated will take about 15 minutes, students work together in small groups to discuss their memorable experiences. Then, they choose one idea together and create a short story titled Memorable Day. After that, each group presents their story to the class. So during the activity, the teacher acts or maybe facilitates the discussion, provides scaffolding and vocabulary support, and helps weaker students within their zone of proximal development or ZPD. Overall, this activity encourages communication, teamwork, and student-centered learning. So the next slide will be on assessment and lesson closure by Bharati.
There are three types of assessment: observation, oral assessment, and teamwork. Students are assessed based on these criteria, which is active participation in group discussion, teamwork, students' ability to recognize ideas based on Padlet and Canva board, how confident and how communication skills the students have, and based on group presentation performance. Participation and closure. The students recite the group narrative on the familiarity in a confident manner to the rest of the class. After each presentation, peer questions are posed to enhance the interaction and communication skills between students. Students are taught to be able to listen to others and respect their opinions and ideas. Based on this, teacher observe the students' skills in speech, confidence, and teamwork skills, and this will be the teacher will give brief feedback, acknowledge them, and instruct the need to share ideas collectively.
Okay. After conducting the lesson activities and assessment, it is also important for us as future facilitator to reflect on the effectiveness of the lesson and identify areas that can still be improved. Based on this teaching, learning season, one positive outcome that we observed was the increase in student confidence and participation during classroom discussion. Most students were more willing to share ideas when working in group compared to speaking individual in front of the class. This shows that collaborative learning can create a more comfortable and supportive learning environment for students. However, through this activity, we also realize that some students still require more guidance, especially weak learners who struggle to express their idea in English. So because of that, additional scaffolding such as vocabulary support or sentence example could be provided more systematically in future lessons. Besides that, clearer group role may also help ensure that every student participate actively instead of depending on only one or two group members. So overall, this reflection process is important because it helps us to improve our teaching strategies and create more meaningful learning experience in future classroom. So, through reflection, we are not only evaluating student learning, but we also evaluating ourselves as teacher, as educator, and identifying how teaching can be improved continuously. Okay, and finally, after discussing the lesson activities, assessment and reflection, I will conclude the overall significance of this lesson and how it relates to the objectivity of the assignment. In conclusion, this lesson demonstrates how social constructivism can be applied meaningfully in a real classroom scenario. The lesson was not designed only to teach speaking skill, but more importantly, to encourage students to learn through communication, interaction, and collaborative with others. Throughout the activity, students actively enhanced ideas, supported peers, and constructed knowledge together. This clearly reflects to the West Coast key approach, which is that learning is a social process. To add, important elements such as scaffolding, collaborative learning, peer interaction, and ZPD, zone of proximal development, were successfully integrated into this lesson activity. From the assignment, we also learned that effective teaching is not only about delivery content, but about creating opportunity for students to participate actively and learning meaningful throughout social engagement. So overall, this approach helped develop not only language skill, but also confidence, communication abilities, teamwork, and critical thinking among students. Therefore, social constructivism is highly relevant into the classroom because it promotes student-centered and meaningful learning experience. So, with that, we have reached the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention and cooperation throughout our presentation. We truly appreciate your time and listening. We hope this presentation has provided a clear understanding of how social constructivism can be applied effectively in classroom teaching and learning activities. So that's all from us. Thank you.